Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kimilly out of Pooler, Georgia. Don't do that, please. And I know it's super duper late. I'm not aware of the time. I was going to go. I am somewhat tired, so I was going to go to bed. But then, I was like, my coach pushed through tonight, and he put on an awesome webinar. Even though he wasn't feeling well. Even though he was not feeling well. So even, and he did that just to serve us. So Kim, even if you're tired, just jump on, knock it out, and yeah, serve. And so that's what I'm here to do. I'm not going to share all my notes with you guys, but basically, if you follow me, there are some people that only follow me when I have like these huge high achievements, and then there are others who are, pretty loyal, and they check out my page regularly because they understand that a lot of times it's my daily activities that make up those moments when I have monumental experiences, right? So for those of you who are a part of the latter group and you follow me daily, you saw a few days back when I put out a flyer for one of my coaches, multi-millionaire, and he put on a free credit masterclass, right? And many of you were on that webinar, so kudos to you for showing up for yourself and your family. You got awesome information. We were on there for hours, and honestly, people did not want to get off. He literally had to say, hey, guys, excuse me. If I don't stop the recording right now, I won't be able to save the recording. That's how long it went, and we were not tired. I wasn't tired until I got off. But I just want to share with you, this gentleman's name is Derek Harper Senior. That's where you can find him everywhere. And he just is a phenomenal guy who has imparted so much knowledge to us and to me in the very short period of time that I have known him regarding credit, because I'm one of those people, like, when I get my teeth into something, I not only want to do it, I want to do it right. And as I've been on this journey of repairing, restoring my own credit and helping others to do the same, I see that a lot of people out there pay people. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys know I'm a huge advocate of paying people. However, I want you to pay the right person. So one thing that I found very interesting is that there are many people who have paid people in the past, and now they're in a position to where they need their credit repaired again. So I'm like, man, that sucks to pay somebody. And life happens, so there's no judgment when I say this. But I'm like, wouldn't it just be better for you to learn how to do credit yourself so that you can repair your own credit, so that as the ebbs and flows of life happen to you, and because credit constantly needs to be repaired, restored, and renewed. So as these things happen to you in your life, what if you could just repair it on your own? And that's where I ran into Derek Harper, because he really is not glitzy and glammy, like make that money, talking on, money phones and things of that nature. He wants you to really, truly understand. And I've never, ever, ever heard anybody teach like he does about the history of credit and really make some things make sense. Why Credit Karma, how it's not so much about credit as it is about marketing. I know so many people with housing rates that were interest rates that were low this year or last year and still right now, currently in 2021, they wanted to get houses. They were like, this is the golden moment of home ownership I've been dreaming about. However, there are so many other factors that come into play besides just low interest rates. And so a lot of people are scuffling and scrambling, trying to buy a home right now with the prices largely inflated and not fully understanding the dynamics. Like, a deal is not a good deal if everything is not in place correctly. So even if the interest rates are low, if you are not telling the lenders what they like to hear, if you're not showing them what they like to see, you're still not going to get that bargain, right? And when the interest rates are low and the housing prices are so inflated, you really got to be careful that you come to the table with all your ducks in a row, right? And that credit still needs to be on point. And so we talked about that with the mortgage, like how, a mortgage lender is going to look for something totally different than a bank lender if you're going for a credit card, and it's totally different than the finance manager if you're going for an automobile, right? So we talked about that, and I'm telling you, I put on my Facebook now. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey, welcome to Instagram. On my Facebook, you can find me on Facebook. I've changed my name so many times. Kimilly Prosperity, okay? Kimilli, right? Like K-I and then Millie, like millionaire. I'm tired, so my tongue is going to be tired. But guys, let me tell you something. I could go through these notes. I'm going to share a little bit of this with you. These are $1 million notes, y'all. These are notes that are going to make me money, save me money, all of the above. I'm going to share some of these with you, but I got to tell y'all, you got to show up. I know so many people who are like, I want to break through in my life. I want to break generational curses for my family, but they don't even show up to the free stuff. That's how I know that money is not an issue with most of y'all. It's your mindset. If you're not even showing up to the free stuff, you can't tell me that you don't make enough money because it's free, right? So it's that mentality, all right? I don't have time. I got to go to sleep. I got to go to work. Y'all, no, you got to sacrifice. If you want success, you have to sacrifice. So the webinar, let's just get into it really, really quickly. The webinar started with his story, and I'm not going to tell his story because I can't do it justice, but just know this, he's been through hell. And he told the story about how basically he was really struggling with the amount of debt that he had at the time. And that debt is literally 1/10 of what he made last year, which was amazing to us. And he was like, y'all, you know, here I am thinking that's such a big deal. And a few short years later, I've made so much more than that. And so it really just put things in perspective, because all of us are going through things right now, and we think whatever we're going through in this moment is the biggest thing in the world. A few years from now, it's not even going to be that crucial. And so when you have that story and you have that perspective, trust me, it helps you in the now to keep going so that your future doesn't look like your present, right? Because that's what happens a lot of times. People get lost in the sauce, stuck in their mess, and they let their circumstances swallow them so much so that it paralyzes them into taking massive action, so that they don't live a life that, you know, every day is like Groundhog Day. And they don't wake up 5-10 years from now with the same problems that they had 5-10 years ago. So I really appreciated how he told his story. It humbled all of us and just made us, ooh, it set the tone, baby. It set the tone. So then he went into, you know, how he got out of that and what he did to help people, to inspire people. We talked about the 3 parts of wealth building, and I can't even read my own writing, but it was like cash, time, and credit. He was like, you got to get rid of 2 of those. If you really want to be successful, you have to get rid of 2 of those. So what most wealthy people have done is they've gotten rid of needing time, many of them, and cash, right? So a lot of people think cash is the problem, but guess what? If you have credit, you don't need as much cash. I know that since I have better understood and educated myself on credit in the last, it's been less than a year. Oh my gosh, it's been less than a year. But I don't need as much cash. I can leverage my credit because I'm doing things that I'm using my credit for assets now instead of liabilities. Before, I had credit issues because I had cash flow problems, but also because I didn't understand how to work credit. So now that I'm understanding how to work credit, there are so many people that are able to start business after business after business after business after business, and they are able to not take a lot of cash because they have a lot of credit, and they're able to buy back their time because they deploy people into these businesses and get them to work for them, right? Write the vision, make it plain so that he who sees it, David Iwaniche talked about this too, so that they will run. Who is your they? Who is your dream team? Because if you're trying to build a business in the back of yourself, you're going to break your back. The business is going to crush you. And oftentimes what happens is that people think they need more sales. Well, I can tell you for a fact, more sales is not the answer. Until you deploy like systems and processes, more sales is actually going to hurt you because it's going to overwhelm you. So more sales will give you cash, but there has to be, you have to come into a greater understanding that you need systems and processes in place to scale. You want to go from sales, okay, now I have proof of concept and I know I got a good thing. You want to go from sales to scales. How are you going to scale this part of your business, that part of your business? Does that make sense? I know it does, right? Then he talked about your first 100K you work for, but after that, it should be easier. We went in depth with the Fair Isaac Corporation, FICO score. That is a relatively new score, just created in 1956. All this credit stuff, y'all, is very, 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 very new, and it's constantly changing. This is why you trust me, you want to stay up on it, because, and it's so much easier when you're not doing it by yourself. When you plug into a free masterclass, when you plug into a group, when you plug into a mentor, when you plug into a coach, it's so much easier when you plug into a community, because now you're not just relying on your own understanding, but you have the expertise and the errors of all of the other people that are on this journey with you. And so it compresses your time frame in achieving the knowledge that you need to accelerate your progress toward your goal. Super important, guys. Okay? We can go so much further faster together than we can alone, right? He talked about, there were so many things that me and my team did not know. And shout out to my team, y'all, the Better Body Builders, people that are a part of my home-based business company. I am an MLMer, unlike any other MLMer or entrepreneur you have seen. I don't just want to have a business. I want it to be legitimized. I want to leverage that correctly structured corporate entity into business credit. That's how I roll. And I've told my team about this vision. Many of them have touched and agreed with me. So they were on, even though this was not a company call, has nothing to do with our company, they were on this call with me solely on my word, because they trust me. And they now see why I come in the chat and be like, yo, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do that. And they're like, Kim, I see why you're so on fire. Our chat was going so fast. It was hard to keep up with that chat and the chat on the webinar. It was just awesome. So shout out to everybody on my team. And everybody who came to my page, saw the link, and joined us, okay? Major shout out to you. So with, he talked about how 30, 60, and 90 days, how long it affects your credit score, and the period of time that it really starts to diminish, and how it, you know, has adverse, I can't think, y'all. It's like, and how it has adverse implications for you, okay? Another thing that's interesting is, you know, y'all, you have got to understand how the credit score is made up, because many of you are thinking that if you just come and you pay everything on time, you'll be good. Eventually, if I pay things on time long enough, I'll hit 850. No, you won't. You never will, because paying on time is only a percentage of your credit score. So I want you to think about it like this. You remember how when you were in school, there were certain teachers and they would say, hey, if you just write your name on the paper, you're going to get 10 points, right? Does that mean that you can write your name on the paper and turn the paper in and pass the test? Absolutely not, because it was only worth 10% of the test, right? But it's the same concept with paying your bills on time. Paying your bills on time alone will not increase your credit score. There are so many different dynamics that make up your credit score. You also need to understand that the 3 credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they report different ways. Okay, Experian, they Experian off doing their own thing. They are, if you've ever dealt with Experian, then you know exactly what I mean. But TransUnion and Equifax, sometimes depending on the cards that you have and the credit lines that you have, you know how some of them pull from all 3 bureaus. But most often, when you're dealing with a lender or a vendor or whatever, they're going to pull from one. That is why your score is so different. That is why if you look at the number of trade lines, it's different across the credit reporting agencies. Notice I'm not calling them bureaus. There's a reason for that. Though IYKYK, if you know, you know, right? But get into the habit of calling them credit reporting agencies. Stop calling them bureaus. Okay? But anyway, guys, that is the reason why your score is different between the 3 CRAs, credit reporting agencies. And another reason why your score is what it is because they're also gauging how do you rate, like, in comparison with everybody else, kind of sort of in the world. All right? So if everybody were doing everything correctly, your credit score would not be as high because it's looking at the overall population. That's crazy. That's a weird concept. You think, well, I should be scored independently, but no, it's not. And they used to do something like that in school too. I forget what it's called. Is it grading on a curve or something like that? But yeah, they take into effect, how sucky everybody else is. And if you're better than most, then you're going to be even, greater in your score. Okay. So that was something that was interesting. If you want to do the mortgage, no more than 3% of available credit. If you want the optimal mortgage, that's the thing that I see a lot of people really struggling with. They want something so bad, they just want it. So they don't even pay attention. Am I getting it on the best possible terms that I can maintain and sustain for the long haul, right? You don't want a car with 18% interest, right? When there's people out here, I know people that get cars at 0% interest or 1.99% interest. That's a huge difference when you're talking about many thousands of dollars. So you want to equip yourself with the information so that you don't just get the deal, but get the deal on the best terms, at the best terms, okay? A penny saved is a penny earned, okay? Now, this is super duper important. I lose when the burden of proof is on me. I lose when the burden of proof is on me. Some of you are out there paying credit repair people. They are doing things like putting false identity reports, making false claims that your identity has been stolen when it has not. All of that is going to fall back on you, because now the CRAs and the debt collectors are going to say, okay, prove your identity has been stolen. And if you are lying, or if the person who is fixing your credit is lying just to do a quick fix so that they can prove to you that they earned your dollar, then you're going to have a hard time proving that. And guess what? Now you are in trouble. You're in trouble, and you're pretty much going to have a hard time getting anything off of your credit because you have that scarlet letter on you that says you're a liar. Okay? And that's not even worth it. There are way too many ways. When you study the credit laws, the consumer laws, woo, 15 USC, 16, ooh, FCRA, Truth in Lending, TIL. When you study these things, you will see for yourself that there are so many ways to legally get stuff off of your credit report. Like literally almost anything, literally anything you want off. There are so many ways to do it legally. There's no reason for you to do it illegally. And there damn sure ain't no reason for you to pay somebody to do it illegally. And when you guys are paying people, if you're not intimately aware of how that person rolls, trust me, you could literally be throwing your money away. Because they could be digging you a hole. There have been horror stories of people just saying, oh, it's not mine. Or I can't pay this bill because the person is dead. And we were talking about how, a deceased like mark goes on your file if you claim to be dead, so you don't have to pay a debt, which is ridiculous. You don't have to do all that. But guess what? When you magically are undead, the credit file is paused for that period of time, but when you're undead, it resumes from where it left off. So you can't say, well, I'll just, play dead for X amount of years. No, it does not work like that. And y'all, this might sound like asinine to you, but y'all don't know the things that people out here do. And y'all don't know how badly people want help. And oftentimes when do people most think about their credit? It's not when they're like me, well in advance of stuff, when they're planning and they're studying. No, they think about the credit when they're denied for the car, when they need to move right quick and they have to, they're denied for an apartment. I literally saw on social media in one of the groups, there was somebody who was paying their rent on time, paying their rent to the homeowner. And the homeowner was taking the rent, and I don't know what they were doing it, but basically this man and his family has to leave within 1 week, even though they've been paying the rent, because the homeowner didn't pay the rent, and now the house is going into foreclosure. And although they have the money to move, they do not have the credit to secure an apartment. What are they going to do? I don't know, but they got 1 week to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what most people think about their credit. So when you wait until you need something to think about your credit, now you're in a pickle. Now you're in a jam where you're just looking for, hello, the noises, please. Now you're in a pickle. Now you're in a jam to where you're just looking for anybody and everybody who looks like they have results. You don't know how they're getting those results. And now you want to hand over your money for the quick fix, not knowing what they're really doing to your credit. Because we also talked about suppression versus deletion. And this is something that a lot of people in my chat were talking like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was a difference. They just think that if you don't see it, it must be gone. Oh yes, won't he do it? Don't put this on God. Okay, sometimes your stuff is not deleted. It's really just being suppressed. So if you cannot prove what was claimed, then it will come out of suppression and reappear on your credit report. How you like them cookies, right? You pay somebody, they don't know what they're doing, they get it suppressed. Now, a few months later, or whatever the period it was, depending on a number of factors, it comes back on your report, and now you pissed because you think they done stole your money. But see, you didn't do your education on who you hired. You didn't inquire with them about how they did their process. And honestly, guys, seriously, because some of you have asked, do I do credit repair? I do not do credit repair. You cannot pay me to repair your credit. I'm still working on my own. But I do help people with consumer education, and that's what my consults are for. But I'm really so much more into you and being empowered to do it for yourself, because I promise you, you're going to need to do it multiple times for various reasons. It could not even be your fault. But you're also going to need this information to pass on to your children and your family members and your friends and people in your community. Each one teach one. So I'm more about that than could I do credit repair if I wanted to? Sure. But for what? I can make money other ways. All right. My team now understands why I want them to be empowered. But just know this, deletion and suppression are not the same thing. And just because you do not see it does not mean it is not there. Very, very important, guys. Very, very important. He talked about the difference between a credit file, a credit report, and a credit score. I'm telling you, the whole entire webinar was mind-blowing. And the thing that I love is that Mr. Harper is not one to just only toot his own horn. He brought his friends on. He had T, the tax guy. He had, and his beautiful wife, Farah. He had, oh gosh, the hemp guy. He had Ken, the VA expert. And all of them are getting big, big money by doing what? Doing different things, but ultimately it boils down to helping others. And I just love, 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 love to see. And I was so happy that my team was there because I know where I'm going. And I also know that I don't want to go alone. So there are some people that are in my circle right now. I want them to be with me. I don't want them to feel like I left them, but they have to participate in their own rescue. So the fact that they were on that webinar, I was like, all right, y'all see how they doing it? Y'all see how he brought the whole crew on? That's going to be us. That is us. And the team, again, touched and agreed. We already bought a replay of the webinar. We already signed up for part 2, which is going to be coming up in a few days. Super duper excited about that. But when I say so much information, guys, when you know who you are, you know what to do. And you know how to do it. The path unfolds for you. And the more you get an understanding, and the more you hang around people who have been through horrible, horrible things and not just made it through, not just survived, but thrived after it, they can give you the blueprint. So get in the room, get a seat at the table. Kim, how do I get a seat at the table? Guys, connect you. Some of you, it's 12 o'clock and I'm looking at the numbers, and the numbers have pretty much stayed steady. Not high numbers, but those who have come on have stayed on. So you got a seat at this virtual Facebook Live. It's a live, it's free. And so now I'm telling you about something that hopefully the next time you see me advertising, or that Mr. Harper is doing a free credit class, you will jump on. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I really do hope so. And then from there, hopefully you'll come to an event. I know, and I'll tell you guys this, if you are leading anybody, if you have a team, if you have a business where you're building a team, if you have employees, if you're just a leader of your own house, if you're leading yourself, the speed of a leader determines the speed of the pack. If you want to impact people, be impactful to yourself. Seek impact. Put yourself in the room. Buy a seat at the table. The reason why I push my products, which y'all see, I don't be pushing nothing. I don't come on here every day talking about, hey, I'm trying to hit this rank, or I'm trying to make this goal, or I'm trying to do this. I ain't trying to do nothing. I'm doing it. And I have customers who understand the value of what I offer, and they like my service. And I am very grateful to serve them. Literally, while I was on that webinar, I was making sales. And I'm so thankful and happy and grateful for that, right? But the reason why I got into the home-based business industry is because I needed something to buy back my time while I still had a job. And once I was in the position to give that job, donate that job back to the economy, ooh, baby, whoo, I knew that I made the best decision ever. So when I'm studying and I'm still making sales, when I'm sleeping and I wake up to sales, when I'm with my son or with my family and I'm making sales, that's money coming in. I built a pipeline of customers that refer other customers and that come back for more of the products that they need and the products they want. Then I take that cash flow and I don't stuck on the ground with it. No, I invest in myself. I buy a seat at the table. I buy a seat at the table. I show up in the rooms. Even as a single mother, my son is a conference kid. His first day of school is in a few days. Guess what? He's going to have to miss it because I have nobody to watch him. And so he's going to have to go with me while I go out of town to work. It is what it is. That's called sacrifice. But I'm doing this for him. I'll communicate with the school. They don't do nothing on the first day. No way. Y'all know that. But I'll communicate with the school, get the paperwork and see what needs to be done. And we'll make sure it's done. And he'll be there for day 2. But I got to do what I got to do. Some of y'all will not make that sacrifice. And I'm not judging, because that's the other thing he talked about on the webinar too. And I really, really love this part. He was like, he said he made a lot of money, over $1 million. And he said he got to the point where he was like, man, why people ain't this and why people ain't that? And when he said that, I saw me in that. Because y'all know I'm not the queen of subtlety, right? That's not my specialty. I can be quite cocky, obnoxious, arrogant, and I can forget where I've come from. And I say that to y'all sometimes, like, don't be trying to remind me where I came from. I worked too hard to not stay there. But I got what he was saying. And what he was basically saying is, there was a time when you didn't know stuff. Kim, there was a time when you thought $100 was the holy grail. Like, you didn't want to buy a $20 ticket to a conference. You were like, if they rich, they should give you the information for free. There was a time when I did all that. And I can't forget that, because everybody has to go through their process. They have to run their own race at their own journey, their own race at their own pace. And what Mr. Harper was saying is that, when he was in that mindset, when he had made over that $1 million, and he was thinking to himself, these people don't want to pay for credit, and they don't want to pay for this, and they don't want to pay for that, and da-da-da-da. That's when God humbled him, and he lost everything. And then he had to remember what it was like to not have anything, so that paying for anything was overwhelming. So now when he got back again the second time around, his approach, he still wants people to invest in themselves, but he still knows that it's a requirement, but his approach is different. So that really hit home for me. That really, really, really hit home for me. Trills, what's going on, brother? He said, oh, you stay up, man. You know what? What's funny, Trills? I was listening to the weekly. And you in every webinar, Trills. I was listening to the Van Taylor webinar and then the Bobby Richardson one. And I'm like, here go Trills at point 5640. That's my boy Trills, y'all. He's been in the game for a minute too. Everybody is talking about you, Trills, and just how happy they are that you stayed consistent. And, just watching your glow up has been wonderful. But guys, everybody's not going to come along with you, even if you want them to. But along the way, don't discourage those who might be about to lock arms with you, because you don't know their journey. You don't know their struggles. Just give them grace. Extend to people grace, understanding. And to make money, you have to serve. And to serve, you have to have a heart for people. Even the ones that do you dirty. I could tell you some stories on that, but I'm going to spare you because it's late. But I do want to thank Mr. Harper and Frances, his amazing right-hand woman, for all that they do for us. I have learned, like I said, so much in a short period of time that I have been attached to their mentorship and the boot camp and so many things like that. Hey, Tania, she said, oh man, Tania, another superstar, got her Believe Nation ticket. And were you on the conference? Were you on the webinar? I can't remember. I know there's a huge time zone difference, Tania. But regardless, if you weren't, I know you see in the chat what all happened with that. But yeah, guys, I'm just telling you, buy yourself a seat at the table. If you do not have the money, find a way to get the money. That's what I did. So I take my money from my home-based business and I constantly reinvest in myself. I have invested in myself heavy this year. Heavy. And it's paid off in dividends because I have knowledge that I can now share with my team members. And that's what I'm doing. That's my vision for my business going forward. It's not just going to be about the tea. I do think that health is extremely important because I know people who have a lot of money and great credit, but they are not healthy. And I'm just like, what fun is it making all this money if you have to turn around and use it all for medical bills? Or if you can't enjoy it? That's not cool. So where I'm going with my visit, Tania said, no, I was in prayer. Yes, I did see the chat was fire. Girl, I know we were blowing up everybody's phone because the content was so amazing. But where my home-based business is going in the future, I'm telling y'all, there are a lot of health and wellness companies out there, but none like ours. We have so much momentum on social media that literally all you have to do is position yourself in the middle of the wealth transfer and be consistent. Let people hear your voice and be consistent and just spreading the news, spreading the message. And then you are going to get paid to get a better body. And while that money is coming in, now you're going to get paid to get a better brain, get more knowledge. All right. And that's been my game plan. It kind of happened organically. At first, I thought I was going to be the tea princess, but now I know better. And I want to do other things, but I'm still going to incorporate that in there. You know why? Because I like being put on blast by my customers. When I go to these conferences, I want to wear cute dresses. I want to, you know, look good in my pictures. Okay. So I want to have that figure. I want to have the stamina to last throughout the day at these conferences, the stamina to travel. And when my customers ask me, hey, Kim, you know, you told us about the 30-day challenge. Are you participating in the challenge? And I'm like, excuse you? But that's what I need, because I've done gym memberships before. And even I thought, well, if I pay for the membership, I'll go. The lie detector test, well, the scale determined that was a lie. I have paid for gym memberships and still not gone. So having the whole world constantly look at me, and knowing, girl, you sell health and wellness products, you better get yourself together. You need to drop some pounds. You need this. You need that. Because when you're making money, what do? You eat well. You eat real good when you're making money. So you got to watch that. So having the world as my accountability partner is the reason why I stay in this company, as well as the awesome results that my clients have gotten. I have so many videos to cut. But again, I want more. I don't just want a successful business with a lot of sales. I want to scale in other areas of my life. I want to have good credit, leverage that credit, create a real business entity, and then parlay that into other things and show others how to do that. So going forward, that's what it is going to look like if you join my team. Be prepared to create an LLC with the Secretary of State. Be prepared to open up your business bank account so that we can legitimize your tax write-offs. I'm not one of those MLMers that's like, you can get over 400 things, but they don't tell you how, and they don't link you to the people that can help you actually get it done. So that in the event that you have an audit, now you got to pay back everything that you were supposed to be saving on. What's going on, Janelle, girl? I was just recapping about this event. You want to jump on right quick, Janelle? You want to do that, girl? Are you camera ready? Can I bring you on? Should I try it? You 3 hours behind now. I don't know. You might curse me out. I have a little special guest here, Janelle Berman, or she might drop off. I do not know, but it says adding. She might reject me, y'all, because she with the churn. But that's my vision for my team. I don't want people that come to me that want to get paid to be healthy. Awesome, kudos. But I'm going to show you how to legitimize your business.
Give me 1 second. How do I move it?
You said what?
Wait, hold on. How do I mute it? Oh, Jesus.
You can tell. I can tell you in the bathroom.
Girl. I turned the camera around. Shoot, y'all got to bear with me, girl. I was like, oh no, the wrong time.
Well, thank you for coming on, because people need to see another face, and it's been a long time since I've done it. Now, don't let me hear the toilet flush.
Girl, I gotta wash my hands.
My friends love me, y'all. Tania is laughing at us. My friends love me, y'all. But y'all need to hear another voice, because I'm telling y'all, this webinar had our minds blown. Everybody in the comments. I screenshot the comments, put it on my Facebook so that y'all could see. So that y'all could see, because I know y'all don't believe in me. But when I say it was time on the street, there was no place else. Oh, your nails look pretty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, darling.
And how much did you lose? Because you posted recently a picture of your back and how the back was smoothing out. You had like rolls in June, and by July, with the help of your trainer and also the products, and you just making a commitment. How much have you lost? The number now.
Weight wise hasn't been anything, because I cheat on the weekend.
Okay. No, people love people love the honesty. People love the honesty
on the weekends. I ain't gonna lie, I cheat. But
girl,
Monday through Friday, I am good. I am on it.
Saturday, it's, oh, let's do brunch. Oh, let's go. Oh, for drinks. Oh, and I'm like, oh, all right. It's nice
Well, you know, we've been
out.
holed up inside the house for a year. So now the outside is back open. It's very easy to meet with people and just be happy and
It
share a
won't
drink.
rotate the way I want it to. And now you're upside down and I'm not. This is no
You
fun.
were right side up.
Oh, Michaela's cracking up because she's watching TikTok and she's crying because the dog got adopted and she's crying and she's smiling.
Oh, okay.
But this thing was I got notes. Where's my notebook? Shoot,
Girl, you see, I had notes too.
I got all types of things with it. I got drawing stuff and all this other stuff, and girl, it was unbelievable. Like, I called Mike and I said, I know you were driving, because he was supposed to sign up for it, but he's driving. So I'm like, listen, what would I put on here?
Y'all, Mike is her husband.
Oh yeah, sorry. Mike is my husband.
But do you see why I come in the chat every day and I be like tripping and putting stuff in there?
Girl.
Just for y'all, and for y'all to carve out that time, because everybody's busy, but for y'all to carve out that time to just sit down and just go through start to finish and see how all the puzzle pieces come together, doesn't it make more sense now?
It makes much more sense. And not for nothing, like, I work in finance. That's my 9 to 5. And I'm telling you, I promise you, having a job is ghetto. That is ghetto. I'm over it.
But
having
we don't
a job
end
is
up getting
having
everybody
a cook.
with a job, because remember he said we gotta stay
Well,
humble.
that's true. For me, having a job is ghetto. Having to cook is ghetto. I'm over it. I am over it. Forget these kids. I'm over it. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. But no, seriously, there was something here. Now, I work in finance, and I have for over 20 years. And I've been in the lending space, and there were things that he was saying and dropping that I was just like,
wait a minute.
What? Like, I literally, honest to God, had no clue. And I'm like, dude, I've been working in finance since college, and it's still. So remember when in the group when we were like, how did your credit score go up so fast? It was my utilization. And I found that out tonight when he talked about that, because I'd use it and pay it off real quick. Right, like that. So I knew when he said that that's the fastest way to gain points and also lose points. I was like, yo, that's why, because we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't figure out why my score jumped so much. And I'm like, what? And then it was just, there's so much. There was just so much that.
It's so much. And aren't you happy that you're getting this information? So like you said, you can share it with your husband. And then your oldest is how old now?
She's 13 and a half.
Girl, I know. That's crazy. Because I remember when she was little, but pretty soon, you know, like now, this information is information that she could use now. And if we start them early, they won't have to have nearly as many struggles as we had. And it's so much better than artificially inflating your credit score by getting all these AUs, which, you know, you do what you have to do to get what you have to get. But if you do that, then when you take, like, nobody who pays for an AU or gets an AU has it on there forever, usually.
Now you got to tell the people what an AU is. What they don't know what an AU is.
Oh, yes, that's right. An authorized user. So it's like if you don't have credit, then you can piggyback off of somebody else's credit. The problem with that is, especially for my community, most people I know don't have good credit. So I don't want when my credit was stuck, the last thing I needed, we're gonna add you on. Now you need a new transmission. Now you charge up your card, your utilization high, and now my credit is worse.
Yep. And I liked when he had said, now this is something that I was like, I wish I knew this, because he said the first 100,000 you work for. After that, you need to figure out how to use it to get it to work for you. And I was like, well, sugar, honey, iced tea. I said, well, I did 6 figures last year and ain't got no show for it.
Why do you think I've been investing in myself so heavy this year? Every time, and I said that the HIM 500 and the Terry Gioma investing course, that was $10,000, those two together. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I got, you know, one was my Black Friday gift to myself, one was my Christmas gift to myself. And I was like, no more. I have never spent that much money in a short period of time before. And literally back-to-back courses, events since then. You know, I keep a spreadsheet of everything that I invest in myself, and the numbers just blow me away because that used to be my salary for the year. And it hasn't even been a year yet. And I'm telling you for a fact, everything that I invested in myself was worth seriously 10 times more. In the money that it saved me, in the money that it's made me, and in the information that it's allowed me to share with other people, and just watching y'all like in the group, what Rosalind's been able to do for her, when she said that her son, he got his apartment, y'all opening up business accounts, getting your LLCs, getting stuff off of your credit reports, Candy getting medical bills off. There was somebody on the webinar and she was like, I'm very young, but all of my collections, my son is still up. And I don't know what he's over here doing. It's like an Usher Raymond juke. He's just in his own world.
Did he start school yet? Does he start school yet? No.
No. Supposed to be on Wednesday, but he won't be there because I just said that too. He'll be with me because I have to go out of town for work. So he'll miss the first day of school, but he'll be there for day 2. It is what it is. We do what we have to do. And that's what I have to do. I don't have anybody to watch.
Y'all start so early down there.
Girl, I don't know. I don't know.
Started today.
Y'all started today?
Not me. My niece is in Atlanta.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, today? That's crazy, man. But what was I saying?
You were saying that you just the amount of information that you got from yourself and you're sharing with others and seeing how Rosalind's son got the apartment,
and there was a young lady on the webinar who was like, you know, I'm young and I don't really have a lot of credit, but I got a bunch of negatives on my accounts from all medical bills. And she doesn't even know that stuff is not supposed to be there. And I got something to share with y'all that happened to me today in the group, just about how we can document this stuff and get remedy for these violations, because we're being violated all over the place. That's something that if you pay somebody to fix your credit, the typical person you pay to fix your credit, they're just going to get stuff off. And as you know from the webinar, it might be suppressed, but not deleted. So it might come right back on. But, you know, when we really know, like when I add up how, wait a minute, I think I paid out this money and I can get that back, and I paid out this and I can get that back. And literally last night, Janelle, I'll lie to you not, I was up till like 5 o'clock in the morning listening to the Bureau Bullies on a webinar and just writing down all these laws. 15 USC 1681, 15 USC 1692, 15 USC, and just item and creating an index for myself, the privacy, the harassment, the oh my gosh, it's so much stuff that is mind-boggling. But I'm telling you,
wow,
it is so worth it. And I'm telling you this, like you said, the job is nothing wrong with a job, but your job was created so that you can take the resources from your job and invest them in yourself and start working yourself off of your job. Your job was created so that you can look at what your boss is doing that you like and that you hate, and that you could not duplicate the things that you dislike, and you know, take the skill sets that your boss has in motivating the team and then use that in your own project, your own business. That's what your job is for. It's there to serve a purpose for sure. So I don't want to knock anybody's job, but I understand what you're saying, because there's no way that I would be able to be up at this hour and consume this information the way I'm doing it if I had a job. It's just absolutely no way. So when he was talking about being humble, that hit me in the gut, because I know I can sit on my pedestal and be like, y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that and da 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 da. But I sometimes forget. There was a time when I had to go to bed to get ready for work.
Yeah.
There was a time when all I had was lunch break to consume a webinar. Yeah. Or whatever the case may be. So I'm not gonna lie, that buying back your time thing is so true and so serious, because I'm literally getting paid. I made sales while I was on the webinar.
That's what's up. And see, that's the thing. And I even, like, you know, I was just thinking to myself, I was just like, you know, doing the courses that I had, you know, for screenwriting and all that other stuff that I have to do. I'm like, yo, my job is really getting in the way. Like, I don't have the time. I just got, you know, someone just told me today, hey, I need you to get your pilot that you're working on. I need you to get your pitch deck ready. I have a meeting with the president of so-and-so and I want to pitch your idea to them.
It takes time.
Yeah, that I don't have. And now it's like I have no more vacation time left because,
Whew.
so it's like I'm going to either take those days unpaid to do what I got to do because this could be it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like this, I'm over this.
I know you're gonna make it happen though. But I
Yeah,
do know
girl,
it's
but that's
stressful.
like, listen, that's just what I told the people yesterday in the group, in the Better
Yes, you
Bodybuilding
do.
group. Like, y'all, don't sleep. Don't wait till you get caught with your pants down. Excuse the phrase.
No,
You know, to try and want to do something when you have something right here and you can do it. Like I was just showing Michaela today, Stormy today, and I said, this is the, storm that TLC built. And she was like, TLC, the TV station? I said, no, girl, mommy's TLC. She's like, oh. I'm like,
girl, but it's amazing what she's done. It's
hey,
amazing what Anna Cantera has done, and everybody can find something for them and just stay consistent and work it. It is worth it to work it. I can't imagine if I had a job right now, and you know what all I'm going through personally. I can't imagine if I had a job right now while I'm going through all of this. I can't imagine what would
you would
be
have
going on
taken
with my
Miller?
son. I have full-time custody of my son, but I would never be around him. Like I would literally never be around him. And that is a scary thought to me.
That's so true because he'd be between daycare or after school or whatever.
My mom, my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a scary, super
Granny.
scary thought to me. So, I'm excited for where we're going. I'm excited for you guys. And the thing is, and I was telling Candy this because Candy called me after the webinar. She was like, girl, thank you so much. And I was like, I'm just so happy that y'all jumped on and y'all see now why I be bugging y'all so much. And as good as
Listen.
that webinar was, girl, let me tell you, the monthly mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
he does that every time. Like, you gotta take your NRG, girl, because when the spirit hits him, he's gonna keep going. He's gonna be like, y'all can drop off if y'all want to, but you're not gonna want to leave because you're, like I said, you're learning from the expertise and the errors of somebody. He pointed out so many things in my business that show me why I'm stagnant. Even though I'm stagnant in a good place, I'm still stagnant. And he pointed out so many things in my business that show me that, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, if I want to go to the next level, which of course I do, because although I'm thankful for what I have right now, he just asked me, are we going to play? And I had to tell him no because I was on the webinar. When I find my next husband, well, not
Yes,
find,
sir.
but when
he finds you,
when he finds me,
he
right?
that find it or what?
I don't want to tell him no, I'm on a webinar.
Right.
Now, will I be on some webinars? Yes, but I don't want to be on as many, and I don't want to be as entrenched in my business as I am right now. And it's only because I haven't done the work to put the systems and the processes in place to work myself out. So there's always, when David Imolitier says success is a moving target, I didn't get it back in 2013. I didn't get it back in 2014, but baby, I get it now. Because I used to think, I lie to you now. Do you understand now that when I started this industry, at that time I was working at the school, at the college in DeKalb County. I only made like $2,600. I brought home $2,600 a month.
With your masters?
Baby, there's so many people in Atlanta, and you have to look at it like, if you're not doing something that's a specialty, like you're an engineer or there's a lot of great people in Atlanta that have great pedigrees. And I was, at the end of the day, I was just a college administrator. The job that I had required a bachelor's, a master's was preferred. So me having a master's got me the job over the people who just had a bachelor's, but it didn't pay me more.
Wow.
And I even remember saying to them, because even on the range, I was like, and at that time, my confidence was low. I didn't know how to talk the way I talk now. I definitely didn't know how to negotiate my salary.
Right.
But I wanted some more toward the higher end of the spectrum, the pay grade. And I was like, but I speak Spanish. And they were like, but this position doesn't require Spanish. So they would let me know that you speaking Spanish doesn't matter. But you know what the funny thing was, baby? Sis, when they gave me that job, because they said, hey, we got all these people in a bachelor's, but she has a master's, let's give her a job. They didn't pay me more for speaking Spanish, but every time a Spanish person walked on that campus, they called me
Georgia.
from my office to translate for them, even if it had nothing to do with my job title. So now I'm down here in admissions translating for the person.
Would not be
And
me.
guess what? My work still has to be done. There's no, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I ended up and it was stuff like that all the time. That's how I ended up bringing work home. It was horrible. And I look back and I say, I did all that for $2,600 net at the end, per month, got paid once a month. My check was spent before the 20th came. And so when I joined that coffee company with you, all I wanted to do was just replace my income. I said, God, if I could just replace my income and just make what I'm making it, but not have to deal with these people and not have to go to this place and not have to have this feeling in the pit of my stomach at Sunday night, I'll be good, God. Just give me about $3,000 a month and I promise you I'll be good. And girl, in that time I met it.
I know,
but I made $3,000 a month, and a success really is a moving target, and it's okay. But when you're around somebody like a Derek Harper and a Him 500 and David E. Monetier and all these people who you got people out here who want 6 figures for the year, and you got people out here who making 6 figures for the month.
Okay,
baby,
true.
You got people out here who making 6 figures in a day.
Okay.
And the more you hang around more and more people that's their reality, what does he say? You cannot unexperience these things. So the closer you get to the fire, the harder you gonna feel.
You're gonna burn, and it's gonna burn away all that stuff. That's those self-limiting beliefs. That's what being closer to that fire is gonna burn, and you're gonna have no choice but to come out refined out of the refiner's fire. Come on here, somebody.
When I say I can't wait for February for us to go to, I believe,
Girl.
he's gonna set it off in Houston. That's his hometown.
It's gonna be crazy.
And watch what happens, because we're gonna put the work in before we go there.
Yes, we are.
We're not waiting for February 2022 to have a revelation.
No,
but the fact that we already have that on the calendar, the fact that we have already planted that seed, watch what happens. Watch, and then, like I said, tonight, everybody's showing up tonight too. So all the pieces are starting to come together, and y'all starting to see this is bigger than tea.
Oh, T's just the conduit. T is just the conduit to get you the income, to get you to invest and to do the other things, to set that up. When that young man said,
they don't understand.
He went out and bought himself a Lambo for his birthday. But that Lambo isn't so he can flex up and down Ocean Avenue and South Beach.
They don't understand.
Is giving him $15,000 to $20,000 a month. The car note could be about $3,000 a month, but that's a good $14,000 to $17,000 a month profit. Come on!
I could get 4 vehicles, put them on Turo. I could get 4 vehicles, put them on Turo, pretty much, and housing costs eliminated. That's a person's largest expense.
Hello, somebody.
Girl, I'm telling you.
That out here in LA, honey, because people just want to flex out here for no reason. They're so pretentious out here.
Atlanta too.
Girl.
Well, most places nowadays, because of social media and just misconceptions regarding a lot of things. But again, that's what makes it even better for us, because you can give them that experience for a day, for a few hours, or whatever the case may be, and they'll pay a premium for it. Just to on Instagram, they'll pay a premium. Like, there are some people who rent their cars not on Turo, but privately, just strictly to people who are videographers and photographers for content creation and for videos or for wedding shoots. And those cars are accumulating no miles, and they're still getting a premium on it just for the time. So never has there ever been a day and age where you can rent, or where you can turn so many liabilities into assets.
Yes.
And do it so easily that I'm not going to say that nobody should be broke, because if you don't know, then you don't know, unfortunately.
You don't know what you don't know.
My whole point of jumping on here tonight was this was a free masterclass. And look at the value that was given.
I can't even believe that was free. I was just like, and let me tell you something. Shout out, and I know he probably won't ever see this, but shout out to Derek Harper Sr. That man
and he was sick.
Had food poisoning, and still was
delivered.
dropping bombs, like just straight up dropping bombs.
I thought he was going to stop the webinar, but I'm
I
glad he
did too.
didn't.
I was like,
yeah, I thought he was going to stop
the webinar at times, and I was like, oh, good Lord, is he all right? So I said, I pray healing for this man, Jesus, because whew.
I saw your comment.
I was like, oh God, not today, Satan. But even when we went to Atlanta last weekend and I missed you, I went on Toro and got me a Beamer. Because, and to be honest
did
with
you take pictures with it, or did you do any content?
Did I? I probably didn't, because I was literally in and out of Atlanta. Lord. But
Beamer.
we had what, for a regular rental car, it would have been the same amount, if not more. And I was like, ew, why would I do that when I can just go on Toro and flex for the weekend as opposed to riding in somebody's Impala? Like,
riding somebody's Impala. It's so true. It's so true. More and more people are starting to utilize, Turo, Airbnb, all of these unconventional means of doing things. Sharing is now, it went from, oh my gosh, you're getting in somebody's car to catch a Uber and a Lyft, to now you are taking somebody's car. Isn't it unbelievable? It's a little scary because it's new, only because it's new, but it's also very exciting and extremely lucrative. Extremely. Tonight is Monday night, so I miss the Manny J who teaches Toro. I miss my webinar with him. That's usually where I'm at Monday nights to be on this masterclass, but I'm gonna catch a replay. It's all good, because even though I don't have my Toro fleet started yet, I still tap in every Monday night with consistency to get that knowledge, because again, I'm piggybacking off of these people's expertise and also their errors. Some of the stuff that they talk about, all of these people all these names that you and I just shared, some of the stuff they talk about, I can't even, begin to imagine that some of that stuff could happen.
Right.
Like what Derek Harper was talking about with the credit. And I'm just so happy I know it, because I can go back, I can take that to my mom, my sister, my brother, my son, whoever, and say, man, let's run up the bag. But like you said, you can have impeccable credit, but it's not going to be any fun if you don't have the cash to pay it down when you then charge something. Right? So we need all of them, and when we can get them all working together, it's really just going to make a world of difference, not only in our lives, but in our people's lives. So I am so happy that you jumped on, even though I was like, she's either going to be happy to do this or curse me out.
That's all right. No, I'm not going to curse you out, but thank you for having me on here. I look a hot mess, child. Jesus God.
Look at me.
I love you.
I'm in the company.
You got your auntie robe on?
Girl, I hate that they stopped selling these robes. This robe is so comfortable. I really literally want to buy another one. And whenever I go to my hotels, everybody is like, "Where's the spa at?" I be like, "There's no spa. I didn't come from the spa." This is my business.
You walk around your hotel in your robe?
I do. I don't go to hotels to dress up, girl. I be luxuriating. I be sleeping nice, catching up on my webinars. I have visions of grandeur every time I get to the hotel. Like, I'm gonna shoot content here, and I'm gonna be in the lobby, and then I just put on the robe and go to the ice machine and go get snacks.
You know what? You got your bonnet on?
No, I don't do the bonnet. I let my locks flow, because my boo could be there. You never know.
You never know.
That's the truth. My son is looking at me.
He's like, boo hoo. You better quit crying.
Boo. Whatever. It's so crazy how protective they are of their mothers, but these fathers can do anything, can't they?
No. You know what? That's another live for another day.
Yeah, let me get off.
Hassan.
She said, hi, Hassan. Say hello, good night.
Hello. You sound like a real West Indian. Hello, good night. I can't.
Say hey to look at Miss Janelle. I have known her for years. Come here. Okay. Were you born? Yeah, you were a little tiny baby back then.
Mm-hmm.
Super little. But we gotta get off, because
let me go.
Reminiscing about old days.
Late.
Look at my boy with the big boy look.
Oh my goodness, he's getting so big. Hi, handsome.
Hello.
Hello. He is the perfect combination.
I know, he still lets me love up on him. He still lets me love up on him.
Well,
But
good.
anyway,
Enjoy it.
I know. Thank you for joining, Janelle. Thank you for everybody who watched this. Y'all, when I post stuff that's free, please don't get it twisted and think that it's worth nothing. It's an opportunity for all of you who claim to have you smell goodness in my hair. Okay, thank you. All you people who claim to have issues with money, it's an opportunity for you to get a seat at the table free. And I'm telling you, if you just get just a little bit of this goodness dust on you, you're gonna want some more. And it's gonna start to make sense to you why you don't have the things that you don't have and how you can get the things that you desire to. So
Kim, I'll tell you before we go up, there was I don't even remember the man's name, but the one that has the tax business. I know someone T. Yep. I know someone that was like told by their financial planner, oh, you should look into this and do this. And I said, whoa. Before you start taking those courses with those people, look about this man's webinar, this man's seminar. I know it's short notice. I know it's last minute, but here, follow him on Instagram and DM him fly on the wall because you're going to get that link. He going to show you how to do X, Y, and Z. Follow this man.
And I'm so happy that I'm going to be at Derek Harper's boot camp thing in Atlanta that weekend because it's the same weekend as T's. And you heard him say, well, we'll link up together and do this. So I'm like, oh, I'm happy I got my seat at the table.
Have the Sunday fly on the wall. I will be there Sunday, honey. With bells on. These kids gonna order Domino's or something like that. They're gonna be on there on Sunday.
But I know we're gonna be blowing up the chat again. I'm just, like I said, I am just so happy because there are some things that you can explain. There are other things that have to be experienced. So I'm happy that y'all were on to hear for yourself why I'm so fired up and excited about this credit stuff, and especially us getting the knowledge for ourselves, empowering ourselves to do it so that we can do it over and over again if need be, and then disseminate the information to our close circle because that's going to make a world of difference. And now that y'all are doing these things and treating your business like a real business and seeing how the whole picture is coming together, watch.
Good night. Love you, honey. I'll see you soon.
I love you too. Bye. All right, so y'all, that was my girl. I have known her since 2013. That is a mom, that is a wife, that is a dedicated woman who has stayed on her grind and just, clearly y'all are too because you are still here. I'm going to jump off now, take care of this little one. We have to get to bed. We have responsibilities, things to do in the morning. Thank y'all so much for spending this time with me. But when I say, y'all, pay attention to my page. I might not always have the prettiest pictures. I don't have a photographer to follow me around all day long, and I don't have a fancy car. But I'm sharing with you every single day. At least I am trying to deliver great value to the marketplace so that I don't leave any of y'all behind. But it's up to you to participate in your own rescue, right? So drop a comment down below, like, share, do all those things that get me paid, and spread the word because sharing is caring. Have you ever heard of Derek Harper Sr.? Will you and definitely go to my Facebook page. I'll put the link down below. It's Camille Prosperity on Facebook, CEO Camille on Instagram at the time of this recording. But follow me everywhere and just tap in. Tap in. When I say to be on something, jump on it because I'm not going to tell y'all anything that I don't think is not going to be of value to you. I respect your time. You don't have time to waste. But baby, let me tell you something. You don't know who I know. And if you know, then you know. All right.